At 12:22, we see a frog for a split second. This is the same frog as seen in this old screenshot. We also know that this mob is called a BAM according to a leaked portfolio. We can see the player card mention that Ashley has killed BAMs. At the end of the gameplay, we see Simon attacking an undead skeleton. This skeleton is holding a shotgun or musket weapon. In the same instance, we can see a new mob show up for a few frames. It appears to be an undead dog, the same which we've seen in a previous Hytale screenshot. This skeleton is then a hunter archetype with a pet dog that roams a forest. The dog AI is obviously not programmed, as it doesn't attack Simon when he's damaging the skeleton. Those were just 3 secrets found in the recent gameplay showcase Hytale put out, and we're not stopping. If you're as excited for Hytale as I am, make sure to subscribe because I'm putting out daily Hytale videos, and you can check me out on Twitch where I go live and cover the news as they happen. But let's get back into the secrets. You might have seen that there are indicators above different Outlander heads as he enters the camp. There are 3 different symbols: a question mark, which indicates that the AI is currently confused or thinking about what to do, an exclamation mark where the mob aggravates towards you, and a combination of the both, which is a sort of shock where it doesn't quite yet know what to do. This mechanic is also spotted when Simon wakes up a creature, meaning that stealth elements will be critical in Hytale. During the gameplay, we can see what appears to be a corrupted Quebec. It's wielding an axe and seems to be rooted to the ground, but this is not the first time that we've actually seen this. Back when Hytale dropped monthly postcards, they posted a seemingly innocent Halloween postcard. Well, if we zoom in and raise the shadows, we can see the corrupted Quebec peeking out. When fighting the Void Eye, the creature summons crawlers from and around its body as a form of attack. Or at least that's what I thought when first watching, but if you pay attention, it shoots out what looks to be a purple orb of sorts. My guess is that it hasn't been properly coded in yet, but will become a threat later down the line. In this gameplay, we see various amounts of movement tech. We have rolling, sliding, and mantling. Well, we actually know how they're triggered. Via the 2021 winter blog post, sliding will be activated when the player sprints into a crouch. We can assume the roll is triggered by either timing a button press or holding it till you hit the ground. Likely, button inputs would be jump or crouch keys. Mantling is likely triggered via the jump key. This is not the only piece of movement that we saw though. This has to do with the standard jumping mechanic. At 13:16, Simon does a full 2-block jump. In fact, he does like 3 back to back. Then at 14:31, you can see him do multiple 1-block jumps. They are very distinctly not the walk-up mechanic you can do when running into a block, meaning that you can have pressure-sensitive jumps. A lot of people, including myself, watched this clip and figured the grub to be a sort of new mob we haven't seen before. We've actually seen them in this ancient screenshot in Zone 1, but this is not the only time we've seen them. Canadian Flash, a good friend of mine, used his insane memory to remember that in the Radial Dial showcase video, a grub walks past the forest for a few frames. When using great weapons, there are arrows to indicate swing directions, which can make combat in this game very in-depth as opposed to just straight attacks. It also looks to be a click and hold, because there's a few seconds later it disappears and turns into a dot. Staying with the tune of weapons, there's a plethora of ways to use them. There are charged swings, light swings, ultimate attacks, and all weapons have a blocking feature. Additionally, when you are blocking, you can also do a sort of shield bash. This is also shown off with the mace weapon. The next secret comes from Simon himself, where he informed me that 85% of you are not subscribed, and if we don't get that number down closer to 0, then Hytale will not release. The current block stack size is 50. This has also been confirmed to be increased as this is very early access. Different items have varying levels of stack sizes, such as arrows. Expect these numbers to change very often. When he opens the text box, we can see it say Simon joined default. This was later clarified by tech lead Slikey, saying every game instance is treated as a server. There is no difference between a single player and a multiplayer world. This means plugins will run on your solo instance. He also confirmed that LAN is an available feature due to this. When Hytale was first revealed, we were given a lot of concept art, most of which were just that, concepts, such as the Ultraverses, or my personal favorite, the Fawns faction. We also got to see a Zone 2 structure called a Ziggurat, which appears to be a prefab available when Simon shows us the map and zooms in on the structure. The current graphics mode seen in the gameplay is set to trailer. Around 10:33, we see the tail of some kind of creature, but not their full body. It's currently unknown what animal this could be, but current guesses are a baby dinosaur, as we know raptors are home to Zone 4. We saw Simon pull out an AK in the gameplay, and some might have noticed that the item is red in the hotbar, indicating stating that this is a dev item. Well, when he opens the creative menu, we see a whole lot more dev items such as a guitar. The Hytale model maker is going to be Blockbench, as announced in an official tweet and shown off as an in-game tooltip when hovering over the name. Everyone saw the teaser of the portal at the end of the gameplay, but what you might have missed is that this specific portal has a maximum timer of 10 minutes. Using swords and daggers do not currently use durability. Only axes and bows use durability. This is very obviously an oversight and will be added in the coming days as they smooth out game progression. It's possible for weapons to break certain blocks, like the grass substance at the beginning and pots. Currently, we know swords and dagger ultimates break full blocks. You can have up to 4 quick access items in your offhand and the option to go barehand in the radial dial. The undead have a banner with the same symbol as the shield on the trailer. Looking into this further, we can see that this is Gaia's symbol, which is very interesting. I wonder if there's a lore reason for this or if it's just a placeholder. There's some sort of mana system, but it's not yet been implemented and won't be at launch per Simon. In the creative menu, we can see 10 pickaxes. Simon tweeted earlier that they're currently all the same, but he has plans to make them all unique and have special abilities like AoE mining. Someone calculated the amount of mobs available in this list, and it's estimated to be about 765 to 785. Simon confirmed 100 of those to be playable, and the others are currently placeholder models with plans to add them in the future. The UI is new compared to the previous gameplay clips that we have seen. Simon has confirmed that even this is very subject to change as they make changes. In this clip, you can hear how when he crouches, he makes less noise. Crouching may help avoid attracting monsters' attention or get closer to them. At other times, he also waits to light a torch when he's further away from them. You all saw that Simon sets a waypoint on the map, and it appears at the top of the compass. Well, in the first clip, we can see what looks to be a gravestone next to another marker in the location bar at the top. I assume this will point to your nearest death location, and could even work like Minecraft gravestone mods. In addition to that, the coordinate system uses X and Y, but not X and Z like in Minecraft does, with Y being the height. At 12:54, the water is not reflecting any geometry behind the sword. This is indicative of a common rendering technique in video games called screen space reflections, or SSR. SSR allows for efficient reflections, but is limited to reflecting only geometry visible by the camera. At the start of the attached video, I'm gonna go frame by frame, after which I'm just gonna let it play. Notice how the reflections below the sword disappear while the sword covers the reflected geometry. In the gameplay video, when using daggers, we can see a backstab animation with red particles. It looks like critical hits at 14 minutes and 55 seconds when he hits the back of the skeleton. That was all the secrets that myself and my Discord community could find in the 16-minute gameplay preview. If there were any secrets that you didn't know about, go ahead and subscribe to the channel because there's gonna be plenty more where that came from. There's so much news happening with release dates and pricing that you don't want to miss any Hytale news. I'll see you guys in the next video.